Begin when ready.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair, and again, Senators. Good morning. I'm here today to present AB 1955, the Support Academic Futures and Educators for Today's Youth Act, or the SAFETY Act. Since 2020, there's been a growing national attack on LGBTQ people, with a number of states and California school districts enacting policies that explicitly require teachers to notify parents if their child identifies as transgender. These policies are known as forced outings. Forced outing policies that require exposing students without their consent harms everyone's parents, families, and school staff, and importantly, those students, by unnecessarily pitting students at risk and removing the opportunities for families to build trust and have conversations on their own terms. Although many LGBTQ youth have supportive families, some unfortunately continue to face rejection and are exposed to serious harm if prematurely forced to reveal their identity. Young people thrive when they have a parental support and feel safe sharing their authentic selves at home. In fact, when LGBTQ youth have their parents' support, they have stability and they feel safe sharing their identities with them. Unfortunately, not all young people are able to be their authentic selves, and it can be harmful for LGBTQ youth to share their full identities before they're ready. Forced outing policies have a measurable impact on the mental health of LGBTQ students and have led to a rise in bullying, harassment, and discrimination. We all know that when one population of the student body is bullied, harassed, and discriminated against, all students are impacted. As was stated by Kai, a LGBTQ youth who bravely joined us in announcing this important piece of legislation, students who've been forcibly outed before they are ready face harassment and abuse both at school and at home. Consequences of such bullying, harassment, and abuse have contributed to LGBTQ students getting kicked out of their houses and, unfortunately, some attempting to take their own lives. Had it not been for an empathetic teacher who allowed Kai to be able to come out to his parents on his own terms, he not only would have been deprived at the time
Excuse me. I'd ask the audience to please give the author and all other witnesses a chance to speak, and if you don't do that, we'll have you removed. Please continue.
Kai's truth was that because of an empathetic teacher, he was able to come out to his parents on his own terms. If not for that, he would have been deprived of the time needed to form some of the best discussion with his family when coming out, but he also shared that he would not be with us today. His story is one of countless youth who are heavily impacted by forced outing policies that target LGBTQ youth in our state. Forced outing policies not only run contrary to academic research, but also the laws and policies that target or invite targeting of students on the basis of gender or sexual orientation, which are prohibited under state and federal law. As such, I've partnered with my colleagues on the Legislative LGBTQ Caucus to introduce the SAFETY Act to strengthen existing protections against forced outings of students in schools. First, it does four things. The SAFETY Act prohibits and invalidates any policy, rule, or administrative regulation that requires a forced outing. Second, this bill affirms that teachers and employees shall not discriminate on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity of students and shall not be compelled to disclose such an identity unless required to do so by law, such as due to suspicion of harm, as mandated reporters. Third, this bill protects teachers from facing retaliation for simply doing their jobs, teaching and providing a safe school environment. And fourth, the SAFETY Act provides parents, guardians, and families of LGBTQ students with critical resources in order to support them in working towards acceptance on their own terms without interference from others. Now, by strengthening some of the existing protections and supporting families, we will ensure that all students are safe, supported, and not isolated due to any part of their identity, as well as to ensure that families are able to have personal conversations and work towards family acceptance on their own terms. With me to speak in support of this bill is Christy Hurst, a parent and the co-founder of Our Schools USA, and Shay Stevens, a teacher and parent herself. Also here is Jennifer Chow, the interim director and staff attorney with the ACLU, to answer any technical questions.